What's up? Welcome to the Pretty Decent Podcast, the podcast that barely meets expectations. My name is Javier, and I'll be your host. So relax, grab some snacks, and enjoy. All right, now let's get to the episode. I have no idea how to start this, but honestly, we're just gonna act like I was not absent for the last 2 months since the last episode was released in November 17. I just know that y'all are probably so glad to see my beautiful face, after 2 months. Disclaimer: I was intending on releasing a Thanksgiving episode, and there is a video of me baking some pumpkin bars for Thanksgiving. It was for the Thanksgiving dinner that I went to it was at my girlfriend's house. So there's a video. It's in the vault. I think I never released it because I edited it. No, I didn't even edit it. But I recorded it. And then as soon as I finished recording, I left. And then by the time I actually had time to record it, it was almost Christmas. So I was like, well, it's too late. So, who knows? Maybe like further down the road, I release it as like a special. I don't know. But yeah, let's just act like nothing happened. I definitely have not been absent for the past 2 months, and definitely did not record a Christmas episode like I was hoping to do. But I'm just glad. I'm back. I'm glad I'm sitting in front of the camera once again, and I get to talk to you guys because I have a good feeling about 2024. It's, as of this recording, it's January 15 on a Monday at 5 p.m. and I have a very good feeling that this year is going to be significantly better than 2023. 2023 started off really good. I will say that, with the marathon, which is today is the 1 year anniversary of the Louisiana Marathon, which, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about that. The fact that I managed to run a marathon. And I'm training for my third one, which is crazy. But I don't want to, get too ahead of myself. But yeah, it started off with the marathon, and then there was a whole situation that happened in February that I don't want to talk about. And then March came around, April, and then April was the half marathon. I set a new personal best at the half marathon, which that was also insane. And then I shaved my head at the beginning of May. And then in June was a Louis Tomlinson concert. And then that's when I met my girlfriend. And then in July, that's when I started going out with my girlfriend. And then August, that's when I asked my girlfriend to be my girlfriend. And then September was my birthday. I went to a wedding with my girlfriend. I went to Quad Cities, and all of that debacle with debacle. Is that even a word? It probably is a word. I don't know if I used it right. And then the whole thing with the Quad Cities marathon happened, and that catastrophe. And then October came around, and my parents came and visited. That was a lot of fun. Halloween happened. What else happened in October? I definitely went down this whole spiraling into what just a bad mental state, I guess, after the marathon. And then November came around, and I started running every now and then. And then December came around, and I did. Well, now I'm catching guys up to speed with what happened in, those 2 months since I last uploaded. So I think after the episode 71, it was very bad. Honestly, I regret uploading. I regret and not regret uploading that episode because on one hand, on one on one is that I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to say it properly. On one end, it really showed. I just realized that I was like talking like this the whole time. I'm very sorry. I know you guys are here to look at my beautiful face if you're watching on video. But anyway, I feel like that episode was a lot of ranting without enough information under my belt, and that's fine. That happens. I'm human. We're all human. Okay. I own up to my mistakes. It was definitely not an entertaining episode looking back on it, because it was just like a lot of complaining about situations in the current situations in the United States. Obviously, there are bigger problems happening in the world, but you gotta take what you have, I guess. And just the performance, I saw and normally I don't let performance dictate what I do moving forward. It kind of does, because it helps me see what works and what doesn't work. But at the same time, I had to take it with a grain of salt, because I know that my uploading schedule has been very inconsistent. So there is no way to build traction with the episodes. And I'm not expecting the episodes to have like 1,000 listens on or something like that. Like, no, like I kind of have to like build up the audience once again. So it kind of just like gave me this like, okay, Javi, this was the worst episode you've uploaded in a long time. So I was like, I'm just going to take a step back, kind of gather myself once again, because I feel like I lost a sense of control that I had at the end of last year because of work. Work just picked up insanely, and then just like the whole thing with like winter coming in and like losing time pretty much because of like it gets so dark so early. Like it was getting dark at 4 p.m. and it just threw me off, and then I just like my whole mood just like changed, and everything was just, a lot of things were happening. So I was just like, I just needed some time to like get that inspiration and motivation to want to record again, because I was like, I'm not gonna leave the podcast just out of nowhere. Like I just need, and I feel like I should have let you guys know, like, hey, I'm taking a step back, to like gather myself and like, just feel reinvigorated about wanting to record once again. And then, I kind of use the time to also like spend time with my friends and my girlfriend, and just kind of like enjoy the moment, I guess. And then Christmas is always a busy season. So that was also, like kind of made it a little bit rough. And I was also working on getting back into running, and in December I did like 12 days of run mass, I guess you want to call it like that, which that's what I called it. Where it's just, trying to get back into like the running habit regardless of like the weather or whatever. And then that just helped me kind of like work as to what goals I wanted to have for 2024 with running and like just my personal life and everything. And that's when I was like, okay, like I just need to find, because I think it was also that I stopped going to the movies and for some reason that gives me stuff to talk about, because I guess if you don't really know me that well, I have this affinity with movies where sometimes movies or TV shows make me remember stuff from my past, and then like just for some reason it just brings something in me that makes me feel a lot better. And I don't know why, but like I guess because of time and money, because going to the movies is expensive as hell, and just like having, not having the time to be able to just sit down and enjoy a movie has kind of been like detrimental to my well-being, I guess you could say that. And like that's very drastic, but at the same time it was just like like I don't feel like talking about social stuff that's going on in social media is very hard. Like I'm very well versed in what's going on in like the social media world and everything, but no one is it's very few people that are chronically online as I am where they know everything. So like I feel like my brain just goes at 100 miles an hour, and I can't just like pick something that I want to talk about, which is something that I'm actively working on. Um, so don't worry, if you were wondering how I was doing great. Um, like I said, me and my girlfriend were going. Today is our 5 months or whatever, 5 months together, which is insane. But we're doing very good. If you were wondering, she'll soon be a guest in the podcast. Don't worry about that. But yeah, I kind of had plans for this episode to be a recap of 2023. And I had this great idea because so I've been watching on YouTube and on Instagram or whatever. People are always like, why 2023 was my best year ever. And I'm like, it's just funny how in social media people only post a good thing. And that's fine, okay? I'm not gonna knock you off your boat or whatever. But I personally don't like that. So like I don't mind posting on my stories or whatever. If I'm having a bad day, I'll post it. Like, for example, on Friday, right? We had a terrible snow, and I was definitely not happy to go to work because I had to deal with getting just dealing with snow. I hate snow. I don't even know what I'm still doing in the Midwest considering how much snow we get. But or even like, for example, with the marathon, right? A lot of like running influencers or just influencers in general, social media personalities, however you want to call it, only post the good things, which if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But I feel like that I can't do that. And even like with the podcast, that's something that I tried doing, is like just try and keep it real and like make you feel like you and I are one and the same, which is what I feel like a lot of people in the internet don't do. And I mean, obviously I guess that's also like how to build a brand, but I don't really care about building a brand. I like doing this. I like talking. So, I just like it, like what I'm trying to get to is like seeing all of like everyone saying like, wait, 2023 was my best year ever or something like that. A lot of people might not be able to say that. So I feel like sometimes it's like at least for me, when I had like to be honest, 2022 wasn't my best year. A lot of bad things happened. It wasn't a bad year, but it wasn't like my best year ever. And I guess like when you're like in this state where you're not going through the best time in your life, and then you see like everyone just like, in a way it feels like they're bragging or whatever, it just kind of makes it harder for other people to, like if you're going through a bad time, which is one of the things that I don't like about social media. It's just like how easy it can just like affect your input or how you think about stuff, because it's just like social media and the internet is just such a fast-paced thing that it can easily just like affect your mood immediately. So I guess like I had this like funny idea of like, and this was before I was planning on recording last weekend. But I had this idea of just being like, why 2023 was the worst year ever. And then it was going to be a joke, obviously, because 2023 was actually a really good year. It did start great, and then there was like this like in like February, March, April, and then like picked up once again, and then like it just went uphill from there. So I just thought it would have been pretty funny if I would have been like, like 2023 was the worst year ever, or and then like make that like the name of the episode. But it was just like, I don't know. I always found that very funny, and because even like I don't want to knock on what this like sudden boom of like running influencers, because like I guess like it became a trend to be a runner, and that's fine. Okay, that's totally fine because it's a healthy thing. I'm not knocking on the fact that people are running, because I've been running for 4 years, and that really helped my life. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm like, ugh, people are running. Ugh, I hate seeing that. Like, no, I love people. I love seeing people, attempt 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, whatever, right? If I played a role in that, awesome. If I didn't, that's totally awesome as well. Like, I know, like, living, like, I want to live my life to a point where, like, I leave an impact on other people's lives, whether it was like one person or 1,000 people, right? Whatever. That's just how I want to live my life. And whether it's someone that I just met for 15 minutes or 5 minutes, or someone that I've known for 10 years, right? That's just how I carry my life. And I just have this, like, I've had this, I guess, like, not problem, but it's just the whole thing with like running influencers is very, like, I don't even know how to put it into words, because a lot of them, like, it's very like, I'm not new into running. I've been running for 4 years, and it's been hard to consistently run and train as much as I want to, considering I have a regular job and I don't have infinite amount of money to be balling out on like all of the races that I want to run, or all of the gear that I want to get, or all of the shoes that I want to get, all of that stuff. So it's almost sometimes, and I'm sure that this also happens in other like different communities in the internet, where sometimes it feels like they're bragging about all of the stuff they're doing, or like, oh yeah, if you want to run a marathon, you have to do all of these things, and if you don't do them, then you won't be able to do it, or something like that. Or like, oh, you need to have this or that in order to run a marathon. And it sometimes can come off as like you either are scaring people away from running, or you're trying to like slap them across the face and telling them like, oh yeah, like I can afford all of this and I can do all of this and you can't. I know that not everyone has that intention, but sometimes it comes off as that. So I started to look more into like runners on Instagram that have a regular life, like being an influencer is not their whole life, where, they have a regular job. Like they wake up, they go to work, and they run after work, like it. And it's sometimes like very discouraging seeing like, obviously, like it's like, I guess like it's the modern day athlete, I guess, like, like putting their stuff on social media, which is fine. Like if that's how you get your bag, get your bag. I won't knock you for that. Like if I was able to do that, I would do it in a heartbeat. Are you kidding? Part of me would rather do that than have to work and like have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day just to go to work. But like not everyone has the privilege to do that for a living. So I guess like it's very hard, because like I can't, and this is not just about running, but also like just like life in general. You can't compare yourself one-to-one to someone else, or like everyone else, because everyone has a different life, and everyone goes through things and tackles things differently, because everyone has different experiences that makes them different from everyone else. Like everyone is unique. No one is in, like, you're not going to be able to have the same person, even if they're identical twins, they're not the same person because, like everyone's different. So just like it's even for me at times, it was, I will say it this last year was very hard for me to not get into this state of like wanting to compare myself to other people in running, because it was just like this whole thing of like, damn, if I had more time to train as much as I wanted to, I'd be able to, like meet this goal that I have in my life. Or, man, if I had more money, I'd be able to afford this. That would help improve my training. Man, if I had more time, if I lived somewhere else, I would be able to train all year round. But for crying out loud, I don't know. I don't even know how cold it is right now. But like, like I've been trying to preach, I guess, the whole thing of like adaptability is the best ability, because a good runner adapts to whatever comes into, like, honestly, a good person adapts to whatever comes to like out of nowhere, right? You like, that's one of the best skills that you can have, whether it's like at your job or with family stuff or with running, whatever sport, like if football, like the playoffs are going on right now, right? Like being able to adapt to different circumstances is honestly the best ability that you can have. And just like this whole thing of like comparing yourself to someone else is just such a hard thing not to do when everyone's posting everything on social media. And I guess like what I'm trying to convey whenever I post something about my running or something about my life or something is like, hey, like I have a regular job. I'm a regular human being. I don't have like infinite amounts of money or whatever, but I made it work. If you need help or if you want advice, I'm more than welcome to help out. And even like when you're in like the process of training, I guess like I had to realize like what my goals are for why I'm training. Like for example, I guess we're gonna dive into what goals I have this year, right? Which, funny enough, I wrote them for the first time yesterday in my journal. So we're making strides, okay? I started the year yesterday, pretty much. But I have a few goals in life for this year, whether it's running related or like my career or whatever. Like this year, I want to run at least 6 races, 3 in the spring and 3 in the fall. And the ones in the spring, I want to focus on just feeling strong and like building up the fitness so that I can have a good running fitness and like just have a good running regimen, I guess you want to say it like that, throughout the entire year. Whether, like, I don't know where I was going with the weather, but anyway, so like, my first marathon this year, it's scheduled to be in April in Champaign, Illinois. My goal for that one is to just finish it and feel strong. My secondary goal with that is to attempt to go under 4:15. Just, really like, I know that course is flat. I know I've ran there before, so I have an idea that it's an achievable goal. Like, it's not impossible or anything like that. But that's my goal. Like, attempt to. Well, my main goal is to just like feel strong and finish it, do better than I did in Quad Cities. That's all I want to do. And then my secondary goal, like I said, is just to go under 4:15, which was it's my best marathon at the moment. And then I also want to do a half marathon, and I think I'm planning on doing it in May, and just revisit the Chicago Spring half marathon that I did in 2022 after I graduated college. Just because I want to go back to, I don't know, I want to revisit it. I had a lot of fun doing that one, and I like running Chicago. It's pretty fun. And that one, like, I don't have any, I guess, like, it's just, like I said, my goal for, like, the 3 spring races is to just feel strong and, like, just have more race environment. Because I like the adrenaline, like, just, like, seeing all the community and everything. I love that. So, and then my last one is do a 5K or a 10K, a virtual one. Doesn't really matter. I just want to, like, have that, like, environment, I guess, and just tackle different races. And then obviously I'm gonna already have the fitness of a marathon, and then just, like, keep that same, like, I guess, throughout the summer and, like, end of spring going into the summer and into the fall. Is just maintain the fitness that I had at the end of April, where, like, like, peak marathon, and just maintain it. That's my plan. Just, like, have those long, like, every other weekend, have, like, a long run that's between 15 to 20 miles, and then 10 to 15, like that, like, just back and forth. And then I want to do the Detroit Free Press Marathon in, I think that's in October. That's going to be where I'm going to attempt to go sub 4. I'm going to look at the course, if it's flat or whatever. But if it's, if it's a doable to do a sub 4, I'll do it. But also I want to get another state out of, like, running in every state in the continental US. So, that's a goal, right? And then the other thing I want to do is the turkey trot with my girlfriend. That's in November. That's just going to be for fun. And, it's a 5K. It's a different distance. And then doing the Chicago half marathon in September, because that's around my birthday. And it'll be, like, I want to attempt to do a PR, because it's going to be way too close to the Detroit Free Press. But, just, like, run Chicago once again, because that was, like, my very first half marathon. That was my very first race that I ever did. So I just want to, like, revisit that, and it's a fun course. So I just want to, run that once again. And then I want to be more consistent in the podcast. I have a goal to upload 50 episodes this year, which that means is pretty much an episode a week, which, I can do it. Okay. I want to, at least I want to reach 100 episodes. That's the secondary goal with, like, the podcast, is to reach 100 episodes this year. And obviously, like, try and get, like, this routine into, like, being able to record and edit and everything. It just sucks because I feel so discouraged, because my computer is ass at the moment. I haven't closed this computer in almost a year now, because the screen is messed up. So I have to get it checked. But anyway, I guess, like, those are, like, the relevant goals that I can share. I want to, read more, and just, explore more, live more in the moment, like, just one of, like, I mean, I've been trying to do that since I met my girlfriend, pretty much. But yeah, like, just kind of, like I said, with, like, the running influencer stuff, it's something that because I like seeing people getting into running. It's just very hard to introduce running to people and then keep them in the community, because in social media, like, I think obviously for me, the algorithm is tailored to that, and I'm sure a lot of people might see it even if they're not really into running. But just, like, I can see how someone that's brand new into running might feel intimidated by it, which is normal. It's very normal. And it's just, like everywhere, everyone is running nowadays. And I just don't want it to be, like, where it's a trend and then it dies off. I mean, part of me wouldn't be bothered if it dies off a little bit, because I would have a better chance to get into Boston, but that's neither here nor there. But it's the same thing as, like, everyone has a podcast, right? It's literally the same thing. Now everyone's a runner, which is fine. Okay, it's health. I don't know why I'm so like peeved, because it's not even that I'm peeved that like the brand new people coming in. I just don't want it to be where it's like this whole thing of like, because it's trendy, people do it and then they stop do it once it dies off. Like, it'd be a lot better if like the community, like, I mean, I guess like the community, like, I guess like running influencers are actually doing something good for the running community and like bringing people into the running community. But I don't know why I'm like like so like not mad, but like it's such a like a like a sensitive topic, I guess. But no, like, to let's to straighten things out. I like seeing people coming into the community. I just don't want it to be where it's like because it's trendy, people do it, not because they want to better themselves, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I mean, if in the process of it being trendy, you better yourself and you like it, that's great. But I guess like because it's trendy, people might start doing it, and then like, because it's very hard to get people into running when they're like, oh well, like I can't even run a mile, and I'm like, that's literally how you start. You learn how to run a mile, and then you progressively pick it up. Like, don't be like me. Don't be an idiot and attempt to run a 10K when you're just starting off. Like, just, like building blocks, okay? Building blocks. But if it's a trend, it's a trend, I guess. It's similar to like, I don't know why, but I just thought about, it reminds me of like power balance. I don't know if you remember what that was, but that was those bracelets that, like would give you like extra balance or like perform better in sports or whatever. It's just like that, like I'm just afraid that it's just going to be a trend. And then like similar to how like podcasting has been a trend for a year. When I had a podcast and I ran before it was cool to do it. But hey, maybe I'm a trendsetter. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm starting to notice more people into running because I'm more involved in running now. But and another goal is to start a running team. That's another of my goals. Like I've been working on it with another friend. She used to run in college, and I've been talking with her about all of this stuff. So, yeah, future running club, running team in the future. I don't know. We'll see. Shh, it's a secret. But I'll leave it at this. This will be the last topic with running. The last few things with running. Also, training has been going really good. 5 weeks in, feeling very good. A lot of indoor running done lately. I've been doing a lot more strength training, so I feel like I'm bigger, but I know it's muscle. Because I put on some shorts today, running shorts, and they were tight as hell. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what the fuck? And then I realized it's because I've been doing leg more consistently. So, makes sense. But yeah, training has been going pretty good. I had an off week last week because of the weather. But I'm just praying for the weather to get a lot better, because I'm tired of the cold and the darkness. I just want it to be like, give me a little bit of sunlight. I don't care if it's like 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's great. I can work with that. I just don't like it when it's like below 30. That's the worst. I hate that. But I hate treadmill running. I hate it so much. But yeah, training camp has been going pretty good. But here's my last little nugget, I guess, with like what's going on with running lately. If you're new into running or want to get into running and you are looking for running tips and running stuff into the in like social media, just remember, everyone is unique, everyone is different. What works for them might not work for you. And at the same time, everyone has different goes through different things. Everyone has different lifestyles, right? You won't be able to integrate and incorporate everything that they do into your life. So you're going to have to find a balance between what works for you. And also, you're not going to, Rome wasn't built in one day, right? Same thing with running. You're not going to have the endurance to run a marathon in a week. No, you're not a freak of nature, okay? So yeah. Also, you don't have to be like keto or like have all of these supplements or whatever to be a runner. Like, are you crying out? Are you kidding? I don't even do that shit. I eat Pop-Tarts and look at me, okay? But yeah, like, remember, a lot of the people you see online, running is a business for them. So make sure you focus on the running aspect of it, not the business aspect of it. If you want to try their products, go ahead. Remember, back in the day, they didn't have all of this and they were still able to do it. That doesn't mean you need it today. I'm so wise. Anyway, we're gonna that's the finish line, I guess, with running. Well, when there's never really a finish line with running, but anyway, I kind of want to talk about Jacob Elordi's Bathwater. If you don't know what that is, it's Saltburn, baby. So I've been seeing it all over TikTok and all over Instagram about. Well, I first saw the candle. It said Jacob Elordi's Bathwater, and here's I guess I'll see if I put a little picture over here of the candle. But there's this movie called Saltburn. It's a very weird movie, to say the least. If you haven't watched it, spoilers ahead. If you have, right? It's fucking weird. But anyway, that movie piqued my interest at the end of last year because I saw I keep forgetting how tall Jacob Elordi is, because next to Barry Keoghan, Jacob Elordi's like 6'5", and Barry is like under 6 foot, I think 5'6", maybe 5'7". I don't know. Short people, am I right? I'm a fellow 6'1", almost 6'2". So yes. Yeah, like I had seen the promotions of it after the strike ended, the actors and writers strike, and it piqued my interest because like I guess I like A24 movies, and it gave me that same like aesthetic vibe, I guess, if you want to say it like that. And as someone that took a film class for one semester, I did a whole movie analysis on it, worthy of an essay, but I won't do that because I want to keep it entertaining for you guys. But pretty much, spoilers, right? We're going to go into a little spoiler section. The movie is it's early 2000s. It's in the UK. It's about a college student. We follow this college student called Oliver Quick. And he's going to college, and I think it's Oxford, and he is this nerdy, quirky college student. And then the movie starts is like he is retelling what happened. So the movie, like we're with him in college, and then like we meet Jacob Elordi's character, Felix, And we learned that he's this rich kid with like rich parents, whatever, and like blah blah blah. And then things happen leading up to the end of the college year, and we find out that Oliver is not of money, and like his parents were addicts, whatever, and his dad passed away, and then Felix invites him to over the summer to his house to Saltburn, which is like just like this insane estate that Felix's family owns. And then like you meet all of his family and stuff, and then like the movie is okay. I don't want to retell the whole movie, but pretty much the movie is it's interesting with what it's portraying and what it's saying, and it's pretty much like for example, like the Jacob Elordi Bathwater scene. It's pretty much saying how it's like how to word it, like pretty much like throughout the whole movie, Oliver starts consuming the whole family. Like eventually he kills Felix, and he kills Felix's sister, and he kills. Oh no, he doesn't kill Felix's dad. He kills Felix's mom, and then eventually, like, he ends up taking charge of Saltburn. Oh wait, sorry. The movie starts with Oliver, and just like he's an adult, and then at the end of the movie, we find out that he's telling everything to Felix's mom, who is on her deathbed, and then we find out like he was in love with Felix, but he was also in love with, he was just greedy and he wanted more. And so the whole thing of like Oliver lied about his financial status with his family and everything, because he was just like upper middle class, I guess. That's how you would say it. And then Felix found out on Oliver's birthday, and then he found out that Oliver lied, and then they went back to Saltburn and had Oliver's party, and then Felix dies that night, and they find him the morning after the birthday, and then like everything just like domino effects until like everyone in Felix's family dies. And then we pick up with after Felix's sister dies, Oliver is kicked out of Saltburn by I don't even remember, Esbeth. I don't remember what Felix's mom's name was, but we know like he gets kicked out and he goes back and like he's like finishes school or whatever. And then like further down the road, like a few years later, Oliver coincidentally bumps into Felix's mom in a cafe, and then she's like, oh, you should come back to Saltburn, whatever. And then that's when we're like at her deathbed. So there, Oliver is telling everything how the deaths weren't accidental, where he pretty much planned everything, which crazy. Where he says that he poisoned Felix, and then he left the switchblade, the blades, so that Felix's sister could herself. And then I don't think he killed Felix's dad, but when he went back to Saltburn after bumping into Felix's mom, which that was no coincidence, because then like there's this shot where like he looked into his computer and he's just like not typing, it's just typing gibberish, so crazy. And then that's when we find out that he had planned it all along, and then he ends up taking care of Felix's mom, and then he pretty much just like kills her. So pretty much, I guess like the whole theme or like the message of the movie is like people just wanting more. Like you're never gonna have enough. You like there's like this whole thing like society's never gonna be a good place. The world's never gonna be a good place because people just want more and always are like this like I need more. Even though, for example, like Oliver was pretty well off. His family was well off. He was in Oxford, like he was like a smart student, but he still wanted more. So that's why he wanted to befriend Felix, and then like he just slowly started like just like consuming their lives. Thus, the scene with the bathtub scene after a session of Jacob Elordi. I don't even know how to say it and keep it PG, but doing stuff in the tub. No, what's the? I don't even know. I'm just laughing because I don't know how to say it. But he like doing stuff in the tub, and then Oliver, just like after like just drinking the tub water when it's like draining down, I gagged. Yeah, just thinking about it. Anyway, and then you have the scene with Oliver, pretty much being a vampire on Felix's sister, which that was also. Anyway, and then yeah, so pretty much he just wanted to control over everything, I guess, and to the point where like he slowly started killing them off, which like I was just like, damn Oliver, like it's crazy. And then that's the whole, and then yeah, it was just I guess like it foreshadowed, because I remember at the beginning of the movie, and I love these type of movies that just foreshadow stuff, like Hereditary or Midsummer, or I don't even know what other movie like foreshadows stuff, like like what's gonna happen at the end. But like when Oliver first goes into Saltburn, they like pan into like the like this whole thing of like the family as like marionettes and stuff, and then like I'm like, interesting, okay, like I kind of like had an idea, like just thought immediately like, oh, like I bet Oliver is like gonna do something to them, or like he's gonna take over and like control their lives. I didn't know it was gonna go to the extent of killing them all, but like and then like the story of the Minotaur, like the Minotaur and like the statue and stuff. Like if you don't know the story of the Minotaur, I believe it goes something like, there was this king that had this bull and did not want to kill it, so someone put I don't know, like an enchantment or something on his wife, and his wife fell in love with the bull, and then they had the kid, which was the Minotaur, and then the Minotaur went and just like was born and stuff, and then like grew up and then like started wreaking havoc and stuff. So pretty much it's like a story on like greed and stuff like that. So pretty much works with like the whole theme of Saltburn, which is like themes in society and stuff like that. And I guess like the movie is meant to leave you thinking about like, damn, that's crazy. And like it has those like shock value moments, like whoa, but the shock value moments are not there without any reason behind it. Like they add into the theme and like the message that the director and the writer were trying to convey with the movie, which like it's crazy, because like even like the dialogue between the characters also like, adds to the whole theme of the movie, which I also found very interesting. And it is a comedy. It's a very, very, very dark comedy. It's like British humor every now and then, but it's a dark comedy. But because there are parts in the movie that is just funny, but it's also like, whoa, like, okay, that's crazy, like, ugh. But yeah, I recommend you give it a watch. Beware, there are some scenes that are like very okay, like what, but it's a very good movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's on Amazon Prime, so on Prime Video, so give it a watch. It's a very good movie. Barry Keoghan, after that movie, I will say he gave me Joker vibes. I can see it. I can see why Matt Reeves, is that his name? Matt Reeves? No. Jake, the director of Christian, I don't know. The director of the what's his name? Robert Pattinson Batman. Why he casted Barry Keoghan as the Joker, because there is one scene after he goes vampire mode on Felix's sister, and he is this tub scene, and there's like he's just like has like blood over his mouth, and you just see like this part's underwater, so you see that, and I'm like, damn, that looks like the Joker, bro. That's so crazy. Oh my god, bro. Like, imagine, like, wow, like he like and like just like everything, how he plans everything. I was like, this is giving major Joker vibes, and I fuck with it. This is very cool. And yeah, also I've been watching a lot of Daredevil, the Netflix show, which is on Disney Plus, and Kingpin is a big baby. That's every time I see Kingpin in the show, I just think of the old animated Spider-Man show and the meme of like him trying to climb a ladder and like crying when he falls down, because Kingpin is just a big baby in the show. And I know they make him so intimidating and stuff like that, but I just can't wrap my head around not thinking that he's just a big baby, because he's bald like a baby, and he's just a big baby. He always cries and gets angry he flips out for no reason. He just goes around and flipping tables for no reason. I'm like, dude, you should be in the fucking WWE flipping so many tables. And then Daredevil always does the same kick where he's like, let me see if I can. It's like he's like standing like this, right? And then like there's someone right here, and he just goes like, and then like obviously like he flips and like goes and like hits them, and I just always like, I'm like, dude, like you always do that move, like come on. And I'm like, I'm almost done with season 2, and every fight he does that, and I'm like, is that your signature move? Like I thought it was like the batons, I always thought it was like that, but he just always does it. And I mean, overall, season 1 was great. Season 2 was like, but I pretty much just been watching it because I want to watch Echo, which I think I might dive into that next week. But also the Percy Jackson series, so good that I'm gonna read the books again. I've only read, I think, the first 3, so I want to read them again. So yeah. But I'm glad to be back. I know I missed you guys. I know you missed my handsome, beautiful face. But yeah, this was pretty decent. Episode 71. Oh no, 72. Sorry, episode 72. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys next week with a brand new episode. Take care. If you're in the Midwest, or you're getting hit by the snowstorms in the U.S., stay warm. please. And if you're running or you're starting to get into running, don't run outside if it's this cold. You're just gonna get frostbite, okay? That whole thing of like, ooh, like if you're not doing it, blah blah blah. Like, no, listen to your body, listen to the weather. Like, trust me, it's not worth getting frostbite just to prove something to someone. Okay, don't be dumb. So anyway, take care, stay warm, and I see you guys next week with a brand new episode. Cause we're back, baby. We're back. Like we never left, and we're gonna act like nothing happened and I was not gone for 2 months. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Peace.